Welcome back to Central Arizona Raceway and practice for the IMCA TV Winter Nationals. Presented by Pit Stop Motorsports continues. We apologize for having to step away, as many of you commented that stream lagged a little bit there, having a little bit of a challenge. It's practice for the race cars and the drivers. That's also why we do a little work here on practice night as well, to make sure everything is working the way it is supposed to. And a good little three-car skirmish here on the front straightaway. Eric Knutson in that 12 car. 4 Winter National wins to his credit. And in 2021 actually put 3 in a row together at one point during Winter Nationals. So good to be back with you. Checkered flag will fall on this set of hobby stock hot laps.
Yeah, Nathan DeRagan in the 19 was just above that. The 2024 B&B Race Cars Southern champion, Southern Region champion, also state champion in Arizona, track champion here. Jonathan Taylor, the 5, making the trip down from Tioga, North Dakota. Ooh, is that a Super Dave approved light there? This has got the high beams on the 12K.
Well, it's not uncommon for race drivers to put a little LED light in there to light up the interior of the cockpit, but to me it seemed like it was the high beams. It was flipped out on the front of the car there, but he will pull it to the infield. And make way for another group of IMCA Sunoco hobby stocks. Was trying to recall how many hobbies we had pre-registering, just under 50 at 47, so a big field of IMCA hobby stocks out here as well.
Yeah, and there's several that Knutson being one of them was not on the pre-registration list, but obviously great to have him.
We'll take him, right?
We'll take him, as you said. A lot of wins during this Winter National Series and knows how to get the job done, as our next group is rolling out.
And actually taking a gander back, I referenced Knutson with 4 wins all-time across Winter Nationals, tied with Tim Gonska out of Minnesota, who was a champion earlier in 2020 and scored all 4 of his wins during that year. Are we supposed to acknowledge Rowdy when he's up here, or just let him rest for a while?
He just ascended the spy on cop. He's got to get wind back in the sails.
Rowdy, I'd give you a hard time about getting the wind back in the sails, but I needed time to get the wind back in the sails to climb the tall stairs here at Central Arizona Raceway. If you wonder what Garrett looks like, he would be the one with a camera. The second guy with a camera there. Doing some fine tuning on our camera there on the front straightaway.
Tanner Benson in the 3 from nearby Phoenix, just up the 10. Going to be hitting the track, I believe, for the first time. There's Joe Gallagher in the 1. It says Manassas, Virginia, and the story behind that is he lived there and actually commuted back and forth for a couple years and kind of concentrated on doubleheader weekends, and then now he's back to his native San Jose, California, and his grandson Bobby in the 1X right behind him.
Family affairs, we head to the back straightaway.
Well, correction, Neil Pella in the 3N from Adams, Nebraska.
I was going to ask. I thought it was a 3N, but... And for those of you watching at home, we don't have any timing and scoring. We don't have any lineups or any of that stuff, so bear with us. We may not have exactly every single one of them right, but doing our best to pay homage to those that are out here at practice here tonight. As the green flag flies another time here in your IMCA hobby stocks. IMCA Modifieds and IMCA stock cars, each racing for $1,000 to win, and Fast Shaft's All-Star Invitational or B&B Racing Chassis All-Star Invitational qualifying berths each night. While your Freeze and Performance IMCA Northern Sport Mods running for $1,000 to win. And the hobby stocks that are on track right now, competing for a $500 top prize each night during the event.
Dylan Richards, we just went out a picture, but the 24R making some hay around the Central Arizona Raceway. Two-time national champion, once in the Mach 1 IMCA Sport Compacts, and most recently 2022 in this Sunoco IMCA Hobby Stock Division.
Well, while he was making hay, Jason and I were following hay out here, and this is the second half of the Ag Report for those of you tuning in here on the Kevco Racing Live Look-In. Let's just say they tie down the hay bales on a semi-trailer not like they do in Iowa, I can tell you that. So we kept a big distance back. It seemed like they were about 10, 12 high, and it was a couple of ropes going over the long way. And yeah, it was. There was no disaster, but we were keeping a big distance as we've got one spinning in turn number 4.
Oof. Full pucker there for the 25 car. So he got turned around with a whole gaggle of them headed his way. Looks like we've made a little bit of contact there.
Joe Beller from, Norfolk, Nebraska. A lot of Nebraska racers making the journey down, getting out of the wild stuff and coming to the warmer stuff.
Doesn't matter whether it's warm or cold, Cowboy's going to dress the same here on the down here with the hooks.
Look at the sleeves on that guy.
I don't know if he was born in Alaska or north of the Arctic Circle or what. But
it's the hair. It's the polar bear sweater that he carries around.
You know it's just practice. He didn't turn the lights on that are frequently on the front of his cowboy hat. So again, just giving you a preview here tonight of practice at the new home of the IMCA TV Winter Nationals, presented by Pit Stop Motorsports, Central Arizona Raceway. Looks like we'll clear the track and make way for another group here tonight. And to find all the details you need, to find the live stream of each and every night of racing here during Winter Nationals, you can head to imca.tv for all the info. There's a single event pass. You can go day by day if you choose. We got a week 1 pass available as well. You can save a little bit of money that way. Or you can sign up for the entire 2025 IMCA TV Winter Nationals. 9 events live, along with a replay pass and 30 days of video replay, all included. Save a little bit of money by signing up for the entire 2 weeks of Winter Nationals action.
Some of these guys getting off the racetrack and then flipping a U as soon as they exit to get another run at it. So it's kind of like a one long session for some of these drivers and getting a real good take at this 3/8 mile clay oval.
Well, we didn't intend to have the old figure eight crisscross here at what is the entrance and exit here to the raceway, but got them loaded up just in time to get the 25 back pit side.
Dylan Thompson out there from Hastings, Nebraska, two-time defending Dawson County Raceway champion in this division in Lexington. Also former champ at Mid-Nebraska Speedway in Doniphan back in 2013 and won the Fall Nationals at RPM Speedway in Hays, Kansas last year. Jonathan Taylor from Tioga, ND, representing the Peace Garden state of North Dakota.
I never did ask how much snow is in North Dakota. I think they got some, probably. I haven't had a chance to find any of the North Dakota guys here yet. We kind of just got here and got settled in, talked to a couple of folks, and jumped on the Kevco oil pans and components. Live look in here for the IMCA TV Winter Nationals.
Nick Biggs from Mesa in the 99. Out on the racetrack as well, kind of one of the guys to look out for potentially winning the championship. Morgan Olmsted of the Racing Olmsteds out of Overton, Nebraska. Last year was the Thomas County Speedway champion in this division. Also tougher than dirt tour after an incredible points battle that came down to the last night in the 88.
Certainly a stout field of IMCA Sunoco hobby stocks matriculating their way around the 3/8 mile oval. Good side-by-side battle, just entering the front straightaway. As Neil Pellis side-by-side with the, was that the 1 or the 1X, Ben? You told me.
That's the one, Gallagher.
The one of Joe Gallagher,
yeah.
Thank you.
The non-numeral black and purple car, Steven Manzanato from not too far from here, Coolidge. I'm sure there's going to be numbers on that car tomorrow.
Well, or hopefully at least a working transponder, right?
Absolutely. Looks like Dylan Thompson going for a ride. '37 of Bingston Rogers from Selden, Kansas might have had a hood pin, Chad, come up as that thing is starting to peel back like a can of sardines, but nonetheless, it's still on the track rolling out of turn number 2. But when it gets up to speed, he's got a little bit, I don't know if the proper term would be involuntary drag with it flopping up and down.
In aviation, it would probably be what? Flaps would be up, probably? I don't know. Oh, it's still bolted on there pretty good. A little inconvenience, but
it's holding together with a lot of faith.
They'll make their way back pit side, see what we got coming to the speedway here next as we approach the end of our live look in here at Central Arizona Raceway. Practice night believe we're going to run until about 9 o'clock here locally. Giving everybody a good chance to get some hot laps in. Get things figured out, and we may have just cycled our way back around to some open wheel action the way it looks. Take that back, almost missed the Mach 1 Sport Compacts.
Yeah, their first time on the racetrack too. And it's looking a little wide, and should be good for these guys. They can power their way around. And, you know, big track 3/8 is big for these for the 4-cylinder drivers.
So your IMCA Mach 1 Sport Compacts will come to the Speedway. I believe Savannah Rice in the 93 was the first car that pulled on track. So we swing around the pits, see the staging area. Looks like some IMCA modifieds getting assembled for another hot lap session here in a moment.
Yeah, waiting for a couple more cars to come out. Steve Carter, the 06 champion here last year in the red machine with the blue numbers. About ready to let him loose.
Steve Carter out of Phoenix on the midpoint of the back straightaway as we throw the green. Up front, your Mach 1. IMCA Sport Compacts are underway. 8K of Katie DeVries out of Spencer, Iowa. In close proximity there into turn number 2, a former multi-time, I believe, Lady Eagle champion in IMCA competition.
Yeah, 4-time.
Yeah. I was going to guess 4, but I didn't have my notes up. And
yeah. 15, 16, 20, and 21.
I think this still holds true, and you may know, but at one time she led the all-time wins list for females in IMCA competition. I don't know where it stands today, but as of a little while ago, I believe that was the case as we...
Well, she still went in. She had a really good Winter Nationals the last couple years. Oh, boy, up in smoke. And also last year won the championship at Slaytona, Murray County Speedway in Slate, Minnesota.
Looks to be a little slippery heading into turn number 1. Chase Roth in the 45 Junior coming to a stop there for a moment. So some oil laid down when the engine let go of the stalled car on the back straightaway. So believe that was the 23 car of Alex Burge out of Mesa, Arizona. Thank you, Rowdy, with the assist there. So here in a moment, we'll get things reset with your Mach 1 IMCA Sport Compacts. Let them continue their hot lap session. Once we get through the Sport Compacts, we're going to hang live with you here on the Look In, courtesy of Kevco, a little while longer. We've got some Friesen Performance IMC Modified sitting back in staging. We'll give you a live look at a couple of those flights of hot laps here tonight. So we pick up Katie DeVries. And I didn't see the 47 here on the list, so I apologize. Didn't have that number, but a dandy tussle here out of turn number 4 during practice.
And for these guys and gals, some really valuable track time here tonight because they only have 1 week with us. Part of the IMCA TV Winter Nationals presented by Pit Stop Motorsports. As come Saturday, that's it as far as their efforts. They're not here for the full 2 weeks as the Stealth Racing IMCA Stars Mod Lights will be coming in and switched out as sort of that 5th division, a part of this year's Winter Nationals.
So a couple cars involved down in turns 1 and 2. So Steve Carter in the 06 is on the, I guess maybe what you call maybe the apron of the racetrack or just off the speedway in the infield. So a nice preview here tonight, practice at Central Arizona Raceway for the IMCA TV Winter Nationals, presented by Pit Stop Motorsports. We will start tomorrow with the real thing. 2 o'clock is race time. That is local time, mountain time. For our friends in the Midwest, that would be 3 p.m. But local time here is mountain time. It'll be 2 p.m. is when it'll be race time. So be sure to maybe sneak that iPad or laptop or your phone to your workstation tomorrow. And tune us in at 2 o'clock as we start Winter Nationals. I know this is practice, but the top 2 down the back straightaway, Katie DeVries. And I'm not sure, I don't have the 47 on my list. Ben, do you have the, not exactly sure who that might be, but it's a dandy battle nonetheless as we swing out of turn number 2.
Yeah, they're rolling pretty good here. Billy Fouts in the 19, representing Descanso, California, part of SoCal. And ahead of him, the 6-in-law, Joseph Baker from Murray, Nebraska. Really cool to see, Chad and Jason, all these Mach 1 IMCA Sport Mod competitors traveling, and for some of them, this is their first time here at this racetrack, and And, you know, some places you don't see that. They just kind of stick to their local area, but not the case, obviously, this week. We've got drivers coming from the Midwest, coming from Southern California, and obviously all over Arizona.
Well, the white flag is out. Do we have some form of a trophy we can give this 4-pack here tonight in this hot lap session? Because out of turn number 4, they are getting it here at the Central Arizona Raceway. There's only one way to know how fast you're going to be, and that's give her a good run, right?
Well, we could give them a 12-pack of sodas, and they can have 3 each for the week, and there's your incentive bonus for putting on a show for the for the live look-in.
From high atop, turns 1 and 2 will allow the Mach 1 IMC Sport Compacts to make their way back pit side. And I'm trying to look there. I don't think there's any more Sport Compacts that are in the staging area. I believe the Friesen Performance IMC Modifieds will be making their way another time here to the Speedway. As we said, going to hang on for another session or 2 of modified practice here tonight. And again, just appreciate everybody. Before we even started talking, there was a couple hundred people checking in on social media. And of course, I did a little reset there. That's part of what practice is. We make sure all of the equipment and everything, the stream's working A-OK. And got that done here tonight. So we apologize for a little blip there in the practice night. Live look in, courtesy of Kevco Racing Oil Pans and Components. Chaz Baca, the 75, will pull out of the track first. Dylan Thornton, the 38T, making his way to the Speedway, originally out of Santa Maria, California.
It's like Logan Drake. Says San Luis Obispo, but Templeton, California, where he is calling home now in the 111, and Luke Silber from Levine in the 101 behind him. Chaz Baca Jr., obviously, we talked about earlier, 2-time defending national champion for the Friesen Performance IMC Modifieds. He is a 4-time defending Shaw Race Cars Western Region champion, 6-time defending Arizona State champ. And here at Central Arizona Raceway, 4-time champion and has won the last 2 track titles.
So Chaz Baca out here in the 75 Junior. The 9 car that just passed the flag stand. Ken Schrader out of Dittmer, Missouri, making his way to compete with us here tonight. And across to, I think most of the couple of weeks we're going to be out here in Arizona. I know Schrader's going to be with us.
Yeah, looks like he's in one of those Tony Tosper owned cars. That team based out of Arroyo Grande, California.
And that was the black and blue number 9, right? That was just going to enter turn number 3 here, I believe.
Yeah, it's like a 91 with the 1 cut off.
Yeah, there we go. We found Ken Schrader for the Jaeger, one of the Jaeger boys in the 33. I think Schrader's also registered in a stock car as well. He'll be in the number 9 IMCA stock car. Colin Hibden, the 48K, with us. Chatted with him a little while ago. We didn't have much time for a conversation, but good to have the driver formerly out of Pahrump, Nevada.
Won the showdown here back in November on the final night.
Brenda Kirby in the 5B to the back straightaway.
91, Chris Bolio, part of that Bolio trio here of grandson, son, and grandson. He's the son of Jason Bolio from Campbell River, BC, which we'll hit on throughout the course of the week. But Lawrence O'Connor from Port Hardy, BC, and Campbell River, that's on Vancouver Island. There's a whole contingent of drivers from the mainland way on the north side of the province. Even for those guys, it's a long ways to go to get there.
You didn't get the memo, did you? It's Sir Lawrence O'Connor.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Sir Lawrence.
I'm giving you a hard time.
No, it's okay. Jim Cox from Red Deer, Alberta. That's a long journey. In the M14 of Craig Moore from Seabeck, Washington. Yeah, I forgot that he was knighted.
Yeah, and I can actually tell you where he was knighted out of. Knights of the Sovereign Military Order of Sealand.
Okay.
I first met him at another IMC event on the West Coast or mountain region, and he walked up to the tower after a couple days we've been working. He said, I need to tell you a story. We need to get him up here to tell the story, and we'll certainly try to do that. We have some downtime throughout the week, but he explained the whole process of him becoming knighted, apparently by the Loyal Order of the Military of something or other in Sealand.
I've heard of Zeeland in the Netherlands, but I haven't heard of Sealand.
I stopped by to say hi to Sir Lawrence, but he was thrashing on the car, so he was a little late getting here, so...
He was locked in game mode.
Well, I gave him a hard time. I mean, he always posts those photos of him eating, the high life, right? I mean, fine dining.
Had the robo-taxi the other day, and it dropped him off at the wrong place?
Yeah, correct. But he was thrashing on the car himself, so he had a little work to do. So that flight of Freeze Performance IMC Modifieds is done.
Well, as longtime crewman Aaron Hardesty, those labor talks and negotiations must have finally went through, and he had a union-mandated break.
Do we get union breaks? Well, looks like Jason, the mixed bag of... Got a mod light out there. Eric Knutson coming back on.
Yeah, looks like AJ Whistler on the track from Anthem. First time of the Winter Nationals. One of the Stealth Racing IMC Stars mod lights going to hit the racing surface.
And Jason, I'm trying to think back to our neck of the woods. Boone mod lights. That's kind of about the only... Do they run them out Eastern Iowa, your neck of the woods there, big boy?
Not particularly. A little bit across the pond into Illinois, but my neck of the woods, not so much. Central Iowa, a little bit. Boone, Marshalltown.
Yeah,
right
Marshalltown, yep.
Yeah. Stewart runs them occasionally for the Corn Belt Clash.
They've got a little bit different mini modifieds. They get those Batwing cars, the really small ones with the itty-bitty tires, 600cc engine hot rods. But these mod lights, a little bit centralized right in the middle of the state. See them on the opening night of the IMCA Super Nationals.
And again, Sport Compacts this week. Next week will be mod lights here during Winter Nationals action.
And they've only been a part of the Winter Nationals just one time, 2022. Kind of one of those deals where it was a limited run, but it's great to have them back. Riley Klim was here for the showdown and was so sensational, of course, picking up the Speedway Motors IMCA Super Nationals Fueled by Casey's championship in dramatic fashion and winning the track title at Clay Hill Motorsports Park in Atwood, Tennessee as well last year.
19 mod lights have signed in so far. For competition next week, of course. So Jason, another group of perhaps mostly Friesen Performance IMC Modifieds. Looks like perhaps a Friesen Performance Northern Sport Mod or two. Making their way to the Speedway.
Yeah, some guys we really hadn't seen the first go around, including Jonathan Mawhinney in the 12 LF from Las Vegas, and Dustin Canale in the number 7, the 7 with like this electrical tape numbers from Tucson.
Whoa, Jeremy Mills out of Clear Lake, Iowa, had a big moment there at the top of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Jason, you pointed out earlier, boy, he was awfully quick when he was out here the first part of our practice. A little interesting that time through turns 1 and 2.
Check the droop on that hot rod. Tucked up in there digging for taters, Jeremy Mills, Clear Lake, Iowa. In the car number 10, Tony Toast with us in 91T. Out of Arroyo Grande, California, Jonathan Mawhinney on the racetrack with us here tonight. Final practice session we'll cover here on our Kevco Oil Pans live look in here at the IMCA TV Winter Nationals here at Central Arizona Raceway. Ryan Peary out of Wairika, California with us in 21P. Sharp looking race car, brand new hot rod, and we've got trouble in turn 2.
That's Canale in the 7. Coming up the 10. Didn't see Canale in the first go around. 91G, a Billy Griffin from Buena Park, California, 2021 track champ at Parasato Speedway. Buena Park just north of the Anaheim Disneyland area, home of Knott's Berry Farm in medieval times. We got Orange County, big representation. Albert Gill, the 34 from Medford, Oregon, on the front straightaway. Uh, 18H from Vernal, Utah, Tucker Hislop. Brady Biella, Williston, North Dakota, 99, going into turn number 1.
Back under the green flag, your Friesen Performance IMC Modifieds.
Pretty sporty group. Miles Bolio rolling down the back straightaway. That's the grandson of Jason Bolio. So Jason, Chris, and Miles, the Campbell River, BC contingent, home of the salmon fishing capital of the world, Campbell River, BC.
Some debris down in turns 1 and 2. Actually, turn number 1, I believe, is the reason for the yellow flag here in this segment. Perhaps a body part or such in turn number 1. So we'll pick that up here on, or a drive shaft. Yep, drive shaft there in turn number 1. I didn't quite see who it come out of.
Yeah, not sure if it's Jason Bolio or Tony Toast in the 91T. Both those drivers pulling in the infield. I would wager one of those two.
So appreciate everybody tuning in here in the live look in. We'll continue to hang with this group of IMC Modifieds as we throw the green flag here another time. Racing action obviously will kick off for night number 1 tomorrow on Wednesday, 2 o'clock local time. That is Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Central. here for Winter Nationals.
Ryan Peary in pictures. Jason noted, first race on that car for the Yreka, California racer. Former champion at Yreka multiple times.
Albert Gill will bring us here to the checkers on the front straightaway. Biella behind him.
Billy Coles in that black and red 67 from Penticton, British Columbia, Canada, which is probably the southernmost part of the mainland BC contingent, because everyone else is up there. The Fort St. Georges and the Taylors, and simply put, we've got a lot of folks coming very, very long distances to make it to the IMCA TV Winter Nationals presented by Pit Stop Motorsports.
Well, definitely a destination event. I believe, kind of maybe references kind of the Super Nationals of the West out here. An incredible contingent from across the country. Excuse me, and that's going to wrap up our live look in. Want to give a big tip of the cap to the great folks from Kevco. We appreciate you helping out with our live look in here across our social channels. We'll follow the IMCA Modifieds back pit side, and be sure to come right back here and head to IMCA TV for all the action. Of course, we'll start at 2 o'clock. Head to imca.tv for all the info. Single event, weekly pass for the entire 2025 IMCA TV Winter Nationals. Save a little money, have the replay pass. Be sure to check it all out at imca.tv. On behalf of everybody here tonight, thanks for tuning in. We're going to continue some practice here for a little while here tonight, but we will see you on IMCA TV, 2 o'clock tomorrow.